Hey everyone. So it is post-election day 1, November 6th. We're about 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, so about 24 hours after polls closed here in Michigan. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm surprised. I don't know how I'm feeling. I didn't vote for Trump. I'll put it that way. In 2016, when he ran the first time, I also didn't vote for Trump. And I didn't vote for him in 2020 either. I voted for Biden in 2020, but I voted the same way this year that I voted in 2016. I'll just put it that way. And I don't know. I have a lot of emotions about what is going on, or what will happen, I guess. And I'm also sleep deprived. I stayed up all night last night until after his speech, after Trump's speech. So 4 a.m, probably. And then I stayed up a little bit longer after he was done with his speech. And then after that, I decided it can't get much worse. So I'm just going to go to bed. I got up today around 11, I think, the first time. I ended up going back to sleep. And then I got up. I had been awake for a while when Harris gave her concession speech at Howard University, so I think that was at 4 p.m. She sounded like she was gonna cry. And I know there's a lot of people who were probably crying. But I went through, before the polls closed last night, I had made charts. I had a blank map that I filled in. And then I had a table that went through all of the possible winning combinations based on swing states, assuming that none of the other states were flipped. So I'll show you guys that as well. But it's just, I don't know. I guess I'm still kind of numb. I don't know how I'm feeling. But I know that the one thing I regret about Trump's first term is that I didn't like keep track of how I was feeling. I didn't record it. Not that everything has to be recorded, but I wish that I would have. So I decided that this year, or this term, I'm going to try to keep a record of how I'm feeling about it. So this is post-election day 1, like I said. And here, I'll show you what I had as far as the map goes, and also my table. Here is where we are currently at. Definitely not the results we might have been hoping for or even anticipating, but here we are. Obviously, Nevada and Arizona have not been called as far as swing states go. Alaska is still out, and then some people are saying that Maine is still out as well, but I have that one filled in because I don't think it will change. At the beginning of the night, I actually printed out a spreadsheet that detailed every outcome based on the swing states. Obviously, it is almost entirely black now. I have another copy of it that I printed out to make it easier to look at. Same thing, just instead of blacked out with Sharpie, I just have grayed it out except for the last 4. Basically, it went through each of the swing states, assuming that none of the other states flipped, and said, okay, if Harris wins whatever state, whatever sequence combination of states, this would be the outcome. So that top row, I went from the most electoral votes that Harris could get and went all the way down to the most that Trump could get. So if she had won every single swing state, she would have been looking at 319 electoral votes, and Trump would have only had 219. When they called North Carolina and Georgia, obviously this map, or this table, quickly diminished. Second page on here, there were actually 3 options here, here, and here that would have resulted in a tie. And then everything below that is scenarios where Trump wins. Now, if you look at it, whole front page, done. Whole second page, done. We are left with 4 options, depending on how Arizona and Nevada turn out. This is how the night went. At the beginning of the night, Harris had 71 possible combinations that would lead to her winning. Trump only had 54, and like I showed you, there were 3 that had ties. They called North Carolina first, and quickly Harris's winning combinations went down to 25. Now, how this works is it'll go down by half every time. So we start with 128, it'll go down to 64, 32, 16, 18, 4, 2, and then finally 1. So the fact that it went down by such a significant amount is, it's concerning, but not as much as it might look initially, because we are getting rid of 64 possible combinations. The downside is that it was definitely favorable to Trump. He only went down to 38, and then the ties, 2 of those were eliminated. They called Georgia next, and the last of the 3 ties was eliminated, as was Harris's any hope, really, at that point. Georgia put her down to 7 winning combinations, whereas Trump still had 25. They called Pennsylvania something like 3 a.m. Eastern time, some very, very early hours of the morning. And that is what ended Harris's chances. It didn't put Trump over, but it did mean that as long as all of the non-swing states stayed the way that they were being predicted, she had no path to 270. Throughout the next few hours and into this afternoon, I believe, they called Michigan and Wisconsin, though I believe they called Wisconsin first. I was sleeping, so I don't know. But I mean, Trump's chances or his winning combinations again went down every time, but they went down in line with the combinations just diminishing. So yeah, when they call Nevada or Arizona, his winning combinations will go down to 2, and when they call the last one, we'll know which combination he wins. Right now, it's going to be one of these 4. So option number 120 here on the list has him winning the ones that he's already won: Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and has Harris winning Nevada and Arizona. Not likely, but that would leave him with 295, which is what he has. If he wins Nevada and Harris wins Arizona, that puts him at 301. If he wins Arizona and Harris wins Nevada, puts him at 306. And then what I'm assuming at this point is probably more likely, if he wins all 7 swing states, he will end with 312 electoral votes. Right here. So on my cleaner copy, looks like this. She started out with 71 out of the 128 options for winning combinations, and it quickly went away. So now we are just waiting, I guess, to see if he sweeps all of them. And then we already know that he has taken, or not he, the Republican Party has taken the Senate. And it's looking like they'll probably get the House as well. So that was my night.